We turn now to page 250 to say the blessing before reading from the Torah. Our Torah portion is called Balak. It's after the Moabite king who rented the services of the prophet Bilam to curse the people of Israel. So just for the context and to see how relevant the message is for our days. So you have more than 500,000 refugees, asylum seekers that are wandering in the desert. They were slaves in Egypt and they were freed by Adonai our God. That's our people, the people of Israel. They're wandering in the desert. They say that they are on their way to the Holy Land, so no one should be afraid of them because they're on the way to the promised land, the land of Canaan. But when they want to go through all kinds of countries like Sichon or other countries, the kings don't want them. So they engage in war on them and they beat everyone. The Israelites win because God is on our side. And now they're about to get to Moab, and the king of Moab is afraid of them and knows that militarily has no chance because Adonai is on their side. So what can he do? He's not going to let them in because nobody wants refugees or asylum seekers like Moses and Miriam and Aaron and the people of Israel in their midst, right? Nobody wants us there. So he rents the best prophet that there is, the most famous prophet that there is. The Torah portion is going to say that when Bilam cursed, that curse stuck. When he blessed, the blessing stuck. So he rents him in order to curse the people of Israel. But Adonai interferes, and we're going to get to the best part where Bilam is actually trying to maybe curse us, maybe not, we'll see. And there's one thing that comes from his mouth. It's supposed to be a blessing. We will be asking ourselves a 2,000 years old question that is still relevant. Actually, it's relevant to our people Israel, and it's relevant to the United States of America. Is this a blessing or a curse? What should really be our notion, our attitude towards other nations, other people, people that are not like us? A great question when we celebrate the great holiday of the 4th of July and when we ask God's blessing on America. But first, let's do the blessing and the reading. Please, Jennifer, lead us on the blessing.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני, נותן התורה. אמן. וישם אדוני דבר בפי בלעם, ויאמר שוב אל בלק וכה תדבר. וישוב אליו והנה ניצב על עולתו, הוא וכל שרי מואב. וישא משלו ויאמר, מן ארם ינחני בלק מלך מואב מהררי קדם. לך אורה לי יעקב ולך זרועמה ישראל. מה אקוב לו קו אל ומה אזעם לו זעם אדוני. כי מראש צורים אראנו מגבעות אשורנו. אין עם לבדד ישכון ובגויים לא יתחשב. So we go to the translation, and we start on verse 5 on chapter 23, where Bilam is saying, and Adonai put a word in Bilam's mouth and said, return to Balak and speak thus. So he returned to him and found him standing beside his offering, and all the Moabites dignitaries with him. He took up his theme and said, from Aram has Balak brought me, Moab kings from the hills of the east. Come, curse me, Jacob. Come, tell Israel's doom. How can I damn whom God has not damned? How doom when Adonai has not doomed, as I see them from the mountain's top, gaze on them from the heights. There is a people that dwells apart, not reckoned among the nations. The Hebrew is Am levadad yishkon uvagoyim lo yitchashav, which means a people that dwells alone and doesn't care about the nations, or maybe the nations don't care about him. It's not clear what it is. In the 3rd century in the land of Israel, Rabbi Yochanan, the greatest rabbi in that time, also the best-looking rabbi in that time, said that this is actually not a blessing. This is a curse. Maybe it's disguised as a blessing, but it is a curse. And think of what is Bilam the prophet saying to us and about us. He's saying that the people of Israel is a people that sits apart, aside from all the nations, and it's a people that doesn't care about what other nations say, or the other nations don't care about him. We're a people that were cursed like that for so many years. For so many years, nations put us apart in our own ghettos, and nations didn't care for us, and we had to live our own way. But if there's something that we've learned here in the United States of America, the greatest Jewish community, the greatest Jewish diaspora ever, is that this is a curse, that actually it's much better to us when we're involved, when we don't sit aside, when we are part of the nation. But it's also a lesson to the United States of America. Do we want to be part of the family of nations? Do we care what they say about us? Or do we want to be isolated and sit apart from them? And that's a long question for the people of Israel and actually for the United States as well. I think that American Jews have chosen clearly. We want to be part of the society. We want to be influenced. Actually, we take pride that at most social action movements, Jews were leaders, that when it comes to social justice and when it comes to the future of this nation, we always cared, we always wanted to be part of. But we always see trends, whether among our people or whether among our nation, America, that maybe we shouldn't be the leaders of the world or care about what other nations say and just stick to our own things, or maybe as Jews, we should be worried about assimilation, about the influence that other nations might have on us, and just stick to our own thing. I think that actually we see that argument till today. We see it in the state of Israel with the argument over the annexation of parts of the West Bank. Should we care about the fact that 99% of the world is against that, and that it would actually upset so many nations? Should that be an issue for us at all? And we see it here in America with our relationship with other countries. And I think that this is time to look at our Torah portion and to learn the lesson that actually we're blessed when we are part of the family of nations. We're blessed when we are involved in our own society.